in the blue. Janine has drawn the lead. Claire Campbell now following. Janine pushing Claire up high onto the fence. 3 laps the journey, 921 metres. They're very close to touching elbows there. Janine trying to be very assertive. 2 riders very close in qualifying times. Janine Verdeseur rode a 16.047, Claire 16.216, so Janine just a little bit faster in qualifying. The difference in terms of speed, less than 0.4 of a kilometre an hour was the qualifying speed between these two. And remember earlier on today that wind quite gusty, so difficult to tell what was happening. Claire Campbell now making a little bit of a push around the outside to maintain pressure and keep Janine very attentive. Janine not giving her any room. 2 laps now to go. Very, very close together still. Janine not giving Claire any room at all. A real test of nerves at the moment. Claire trying to get past the outside and Janine not giving her a chance. And now Claire ups the pace and Janine responds to it with a jump with a lap and a half to go. Claire drops down into the draft, being led out a long way out. That's some 450 metres where they made that move. This is a long track and it's windy as they come up. They've got that tailwind up the front straight at the moment. Janine leading it out, working hard. Claire at the moment looking comfortable. Will she lay off and have a run? Not yet. She's waiting very patiently. Patience is a virtue as a sprinter, but you don't want to leave it too late on this track. Janine now starting to stretch it out just a little bit. Has Claire got the legs to come past her up the finishing straight? I don't think so at the moment. Claire makes a little bit of a move, but it's too little too late. And Janine Verdeseur takes out. And they get 3 laps. And Vanessa has drawn the lead. This is a race of first place. There is prize money at stake. And also aggregate points, although the aggregate itself is dead, but there are daily aggregate points still up for grabs. There is a good set of tyres to win. They're very close there on Vanessa's wheel, not giving himself any space to run at her if he wanted to. Quite happy just to draft her in up the back straight. And wind just gusting around a little bit. You can see that windsock being tossed around by the breeze that we have. They'll get 2 laps to go as they come past Sue. It's 614 metres, this 307 metre track. Merv doing his best to try and sit in Vanessa's blind spot and keep her guessing as to where he is. She needs to work on that skill a little bit at this track. She's having to flick her head forward a fair bit, see where she's going, although she may be trying to do that to lull Merv into a sense of false sense of security or try and encourage him to duck past. But he's not having any of that. We'll see how that goes. A lap and a quarter now to go as they come past that evil fast food vendor sign. They'll get the bell. Some grades of racing the bell means go, but Vanessa's anticipated it and she's gone early. No run off the bank at all, this is just horsepower. And Merv chasing, he's got at the draft. Has he got the legs to come past her up the finishing straight? 200 metres now to go. Merv makes his move around the outside and kicks. But Vanessa looks like she might hold him off. She's certainly got the speed around the bank and she starts to stretch it out. Merv's gone a little bit too early there. And Vanessa will hold a really nice tight line around the corner. And Vanessa Boff takes out C grade. Mark has drawn the lead. He's in the white. Aaron Christensen in the black.
I would say Carlton were playing Essendon and North Melbourne were playing Collingwood and
Nick
were playing...
being quite assertive there, trying to make sure that Aaron can't dive underneath him. Pace very slow, so keeping a close eye on them. They're not allowed to go slower than walking pace.
I did hear that. It was on the radio, wasn't it? Yes.
Aaron on a beautifully repainted BT. And Nick riding a TMI, which is a very famous American track bike, aluminium frame. One of the most famous American brands around. Or American frame makers, I should say. Aaron jumps past. Nick, I think Nick might have anticipated that at some point. Aaron definitely an endurance rider. And he's opened up a bit of a gap and caught Nick a little bit napping there. Nick's going to have a lot of work to do. They come around to get 2 laps to go. It's a long way out. Nick adopts the Cam Meyer crouch to try and make himself as aerodynamic as possible to make the gap, make the chase in, and he looks like he's found the draft. Is he going to come past early, or is he going to wait? He backpedals coming onto the back wheel, which some people would consider a little bit of an error. Quite happy at the moment to wait in the draft. as they get now the bell. And now he moves around the outside and maybe he's going to try and take a little height. Aaron's still sitting down in the lane doing his best to own it. Looks around, there's going to be another kick here. Who's going to do it? Aaron kicks at the same time as Nick makes a move around the outside. Who's going to have the speed? Aaron driving hard and Nick caught on his hip. But Nick with a little bit of extra speed there. You can just see it as they come around the bank. Aaron will stay nice and neatly in the lane and Nick Mark's going to come around the outside of him by the looks of it. And Nick Mark takes out third place 17s. Well, they're both 15 years old. Their first year under 15s this year. They know this track. They will both be assertive. John in the quick cycle jersey, the pink, white and blue. Jamie in the blue and yellow of the aboc skin suit. Side by side as they come into turn 3. A little bit under 1 lap done. How will this one pan out? Both young men have a big jump. John forcing Jamie up high now, not trying to give him the opportunity to run around the outside. They'll come around now to get 2 to go. The pace fairly high. And John holding Jamie up. Jamie quite content to press down low at this point. They come around out of turn 2. Jamie looking for a run off the bank. This is a high pace early on in this race. They come around now, they've got a bit under 1.5 laps to go. John Cochran still holding the lead. Jamie just trying to hide his speed around the outside. You can see that move as he comes off the bank now. And John Cochran trying desperately to hold him up out of the lane. And he drops down in the lane now. They're side by side around the corner. John's still not dropping down into the lane. He comes down now with 200 metres to go. Still not occupying the lane. Jamie's going to have to go the long way around on that outside corner. Has he got the speed to do it? Can he have a run at him? John Cochran holding him off at the moment. Jamie makes a move around the outside with a last gasp. This is going to be a real close charge for the line. But I think the first one, Nick in the red and white, Nick in the red and black, Jamie in the blue and white. 3 laps.
Nearly yell at her.
Jamie at the moment holding good position high on the track. But Nick just coming forward now to shut down his opportunity to run off the bank into the lane. Jamie rolls off the bank, just using a little bit of momentum and gravity to help. And he takes the lead, and now Nick settles in on his wheel. A little bit of change of positions. And there's not much of this track that Jamie Goddard doesn't know. And Jamie will push Nick around a bit. They have raced each other today, they already know each other a bit. Jamie hooking and hooking and hooking as he comes into turn 2. And Nick flicks back at him, but Jamie not particularly disturbed by that at this point.
And there were some other ones there. This lady had 3 poodles, like proper.
Jamie doing a good job there of not allowing Nick the opportunity to drop down into the lane coming out of turn 2.
Or something on the kitchen floor, and they're all sitting there, 3 of them together.
And Jamie does the hook into turn 2, into turn 4, and shuts the door very quickly. But Nicholas has got the lane. A very nice aggressive move. Jamie just left the door open to whisper, and Nick had the opportunity to get down into it and take the lane. Now Jamie with a lot of work to do if he's to get around him. Nick with the lead. 200 metres now to go. Jamie's going to have to come off the wheel fairly early if he's to get in. The wind has dropped down a little bit. Can Jamie come off the wheel and come past around that back corner? At this point he makes his move at the oval fast move vendor sign, flicks out of the corner. 20 or 30 metres to go now, and this one's flying for the line. Looks like Jamie. This will be an interesting race indeed, ladies and gentlemen. It's our last race of the series. Last race for the summer. What there is of the summer.
I promise I will not.
You want a snack, guys, or what?
Chris Ray's already got something in the bag today. He's going to be taking home a trophy and a new bike frame, unless he gets disqualified in this race and loses a whole heap of points. All he has to do is ride fair and he's safe. Neil wants the pride of the win. He's already had 1 win this week. He won B grade out at Sandown on Tuesday. Then I believe had something to do with some fixed gear thingo during the week on some great big heavy clunker. He qualified on 104. I'm pretty sure he's not riding that gear now. He's gone down a few gear inches in order to get a bit more acceleration. His qualifying time he wasn't very pleased with. Well, a lot of the rest of us would have been fairly happy with it. He was a little bit displeased. He certainly could have gone a little bit quicker for him. Big welcome now to Andrew Steele, who's just arrived. He's the main series sponsor for the year with the Barney Pista Pro carbon track frame, which is the main prize for the year. He's just arrived with that, so thank you, Steely. 2 laps now to go, the last race of the day. Neil Robinson still leading, Chris Ray content to just sit high and wait. Play the video back, nothing's changed. Chris just creeping up a little bit there on Neil. Neil perhaps allowing him a little bit of latitude. Chris at the moment backpedaling as he comes off the bank. He doesn't want to use that run just yet. Coming in now with a lap and a half to go, coming into that turn 3 transition. Neil again just trying to keep Chris boxed up. Chris rode very well recently at the Australian Masters Championships up in Sydney, where he qualified fastest in his age group. Unfortunately, not able to capitalise on that fastest qualifying with a win, but certainly he's got some speed. The bell goes now, 307 metres to go. Will Neil do the hook and drop? He certainly got the hook. Will he do the drop? Still waiting. Now Neil drops down and Chris is pouncing straight on his wheel in what looks like almost a replay of their race earlier. Neil out of the saddle and trying desperately to do it. Chris Ray now parked on his hip. You can just see he's got the momentum coming around that outside corner. And it's a drive now for the line. Neil giving it everything he can. But Chris Ray is